This will be the last video in the series for the ending of the U.S. penny, and I decided to pick up. I saw this one here. I keep all my pennies here on the side for the future videos, and this is episode. What is this? I want to say it's. Well, let me not guess. I think it's 523. Yeah, this is episode 523. It's the last episode. If you want to see the previous ones, then you can type in, I believe it started in part one was 520. So we got 520, 21, 22, and 23, 4 episodes. If in the search bar, if you just put in um, those numbers, then the video will come up. So it's not a big deal. Let's see if we can see how tight this one is. Okay, it looks like it's a little, it should come out, hopefully. Let's see, going to come out? Yeah, they're coming out. All right. And they actually stood, for the most part, in a row. So I went over the history. I went over what it meant, what it means to be, what it means to the channel. And let's talk about what it means for a lot of people who collect pennies, right? And what the significance is, in my opinion, right? All this that I talk about is just my opinion, right? It's all just my opinion. In the comments below, you can leave your opinion. So I remember as a kid going with my father to just a couple of times, maybe three times, 4 times on the high side. And he took me to the coin shop in Manhattan, and they used to keep Indian head pennies like loose on the counter in a jar, and I guess they were like 10 cents a piece or something like that. And he bought me a couple, and I remember just being interested in them from a child, as that being a reason. I got into picking up collectibles in the early mid 2000 on eBay, and I guess like most of you out there, you buy something, and if it goes up, maybe you sell it because you need the money, or that's just what you do as a business or a hobby. Buy things, and as they go up, as inflation eats them up, or something becomes more valuable, you sell them. So the penny is the lowest denomination form of currency that we have. I believe there was at one point a half penny in the 1800s or 1700s. I guess that would have been the lowest ever in U.S. history. But generally speaking, the coin that we're most familiar with, look at this, is the U.S. penny. It looks like there's some doubling around the top of the letters in Liberty. I'm going to look at it under the loop right now. See if we found ourselves a double die. Oh, yeah. The whole top of Liberty has some spreading. And you can see some doubling even through the loop. Let me check out the reverse really quickly to see if there's anything like that on the back. Not sure. It's kind of dirty. Now, can it be mechanical doubling? It could be. It's very weak. But there is some doubling at the tops of the letters. So coin collecting obviously is something that's been going on probably for into ancient history. And collecting, oh, that's a beauty. What a beautiful copper penny. And collecting US pennies has also probably been going on for hundreds of years. I have sold another beautiful one. Look at this. I have sold pennies that I found online. So there is obviously some value. People will pay more than its face value for errors on a coin or special coins, key dates, semi-key dates, varieties, things of that nature. And of course, based on condition. So for a penny or for 50 cents a penny roll, we have enjoyed the luxury of searching for something worth more than its face value. Look at the shine on this. Is that amazing? What a toner. And just for copper value alone, we get 3x face value. Here's another lamination error. And that has been a luxury, right? They are showing us or giving us something that is worth more than what you could, but then its purchasing power. Oh wow, is that a repunch? Let me look on the. Hard to tell because of those black spots. Man, that looks like a repunch mint mark. Looks so wide on the left. Even the date looks like it might be doubled. It's too bad it has those really dark spots. I don't know if that would come out in mineral oil or if it's even worth the time. Too bad. It's a beautiful looking coin. Otherwise, what a shame. Almost looks like an uncirculated. What a shame. And that's all about to end, just like for Canada. I think this is a zinc. I feel like they stopped it in the or was it 80? No. Was it 2012 or 2012 was the last year? But I don't know. This is a beauty. Regardless, this is a beautiful looking coin. Say goodbye to finding these two, right? Because they're not going to be giving out US pennies at some point in banks. So we've all enjoyed this little coin that we've been able to find in the streets, get in penny rolls. This is a zinc. Look at the side of the two there. Most likely mechanical doubling. I think I have to look at that. That's really cool looking. Wow. I don't know. It's super though. Let me check out the other elements. I don't know. I like that too, though. Could be mechanical doubling, but it sure is out there. Oh wow, the reverse has mechanical doubling or doubling also. Specifically, not specifically, but specifically on the M in America. Super cool. Look at that M. Now, is that a? It's in the other letters too. The R also a little bit. Now, is it mechanical? Probably, but it's really nice though. All right. So these things that I'm looking for, right? What am I looking for? I mean, if I have to break it down into its simplest form, I'm looking for added value. That's it. That's what we're all looking for. Anyone out there who does penny roll hunting, that is the simplest form of what you're looking for. For 99% of us, 99.9, you're looking for added value. You're looking for a penny that's worth more than face value. It's worth more than 1 cent. This coin here is copper. It's worth 3 point something cents or 3 point something X above face value. And that's without any errors. Look at that E. I have to check that out in the loop. Right. And then we out after we look for the copper and we separate that, or while we're doing that, yeah, that E looks double to me also. Or, mechanically doubling. Oh yeah. You can see the separation on the E. Clear and present separation on the E. Right there, you can see it. It looks like a first and second squeeze. So we're looking for beyond the metallurgy value. We're also looking for errors, things that are worth significantly more than face value. Errors, mint state condition coins, key dates. And through the penny roll process and through learning, right, going to websites, doing research, for example, copper coins, right, going to copper coins, you can learn all about penny double dies. Weighing pennies, you can weigh all your pennies to try to find some that are out of tolerance. And we're looking for something, we're looking for pennies, coins that have more value, way, way, way more value. For example, the Flare G, the 88 Flare G. If there was a Flare G, which there is not, on this coin, if that G there, right, and the artist name or whoever it is, the architect, if that was a Flare G there, it'd be a $50 coin. In excellent condition or mint state condition, it's a $100 coin, 150. You can do something with $100 or $50 or 20. You can't do much with a penny. But with 20, 30, 40, 50, $100, you can do something. You can buy something. You could fill your car up with gas. You can take your friend out for a meal. You can pay a bill. So the hope of finding, it's almost like lotto, right? Except it's practically free. right? Because you can look through 50 pennies and then bring back 50 pennies to the bank. So in in a sense, it's free. With a chance to find something, if you know what to look for, that has value. Obviously, you can separate the um, the copper, and that alone, you're doing 3x your money. The 2023 has the extra V. That's 20, $30 right there. I found a few of those over the past couple years. And it's something you can do in your spare time. It doesn't take that long. 15, 20 minutes, 10 minutes. You can use a microscope and get bananas. It's such a cool. Oh, speaking of the 2023. I will look very quickly under the loop. I didn't see one though. It is a beauty though. It's a very nice looking coin. Now, of course, there's no V there. One out of every several thousand, you might find the. That is a beauty. I'll take a picture of that. Maybe use that for the thumbnail. And a lot of people have dedicated a certain amount of time. There are tons and tons and tons of YouTube videos, channels where people are coin roll hunting, just tons and tons ad nauseum, including this one. And we're all looking for something worth money, something of value. For example, a couple of the coins that I found here today, well, even this one, I just keep staring. It's such nice condition. If you wanted to buy Canadian 1986, I don't know if it's copper. I want to know if it's copper or not. Let me pause the video and I'll do a little research. So in Canada, their pennies were copper from 1908. So they actually started making them back then to 1996. So this is a copper penny. It looks copper. It's a copper penny. And it's in great, great condition. I mean, I would consider this AU. It's probably low AU, but it's probably AU condition. It's circulated AU. And if you go on eBay and you want to buy one, what's it going to cost you? Well, this is uncirculated. That's uncirculated. They're going to cost you. Yeah, that's a bad one. They're going to cost you $1 or $2. And they're selling. I mean, at one point, you could have got these pennies for a penny in Canada. Think about this. Imagine if somebody would have had millions of these pennies, right? A million. So you would take 2 zeros out. And how much would a million pennies in 1986 have cost someone? If you take 2 zeros out from a million, right? 1% of a million is 10,000. If you would have got a million pennies for $10,000 in the 1980s, 1990s, again, uncirculated. They sell for $1 now. You'd have $1 million from a $10,000 investment. Again, assuming you can get uncirculated rolls and all of that, and $1 million worth. There's a lot of ifs and question marks that you'd be a millionaire, right? And we're talking about 80s and 90s. Anyway, I guess my point is, and the point of this video is, there's value in the US penny, and I don't even think it has come into fruition yet. Meaning, it will not surprise me one bit. Actually, I'm going to assume it, that within the next several years, another 2023, going to give me the extra V, huh, you screwer? That V is really, when it has the extra V, you can really see it from far away. Yeah, don't got it. I didn't look at the reverse. I got so annoyed the extra V wasn't there. I didn't even look on the reverse. And I think that's going to be it. That's going to be what we're going to be looking towards. What happens to the stock price of US pennies when they stop making it? And for those of us who are holding on to a ton of them, well, not that we became rich instantly, but not for nothing. How about if the pennies, how about a circulated penny starts selling for $1? I mean, that would be incredible, right? Because if you got 1,000,000 pennies and they start selling for $1, you're a millionaire, which is $10,000 in pennies. I'm nowhere near that, unfortunately. I wish I did have 10,000 in pennies. I'm probably closer to $400 in pennies. If it was 5, it'll be a lot, and I'm going to try to get it as close to $1,000 in pennies by the end of this year as humanly possible. That's my goal. And the last thing that I'll mention for anyone who's still here after 23 minutes, I like to keep my videos about 15 minutes to 20 minutes long. When I have a topic like this, they tend to go a little bit longer. And I keep thinking about, right, what am I going to do when my pennies start getting super low on the channel? Well, again, I'm talking about years from now, man. I might be 60 by the time I have no more pennies. But I'm thinking about it still, right? Just like people think about retirement. When you hit 60, what do you start thinking about? Social Security, right? Are you going to take it at 62 and a half, or are you going to take it at 67 or 70? What are you going to do? Anyway, so one of the things that I realize is that I spoke about this in several videos before, but I put all the errors I find or significant pennies I find, I put into flips, and from the flips, I put them into boxes. I bought a huge box of these little red boxes that hold flips. Right, those little red boxes, and I mark them. Right, I write what they are, and then I separate them by low value, 50 cent, $1 pennies, $2, $3 pennies, $4 pennies, $5 pennies, mid, and then my favorite errors I put into the other one. For example, I found gold plated pennies. If I find an Indian head penny to go in it, which I haven't found one, but I said my cousin gave me one. It went in there. Good double die, whatever it is, they go into the to that. So I have, and a lot of these I collected, like I said, at the beginning of the channel almost a couple years ago. I have about 15 of those boxes filled already. Of the expensive ones, I'm on my fourth box. Of the mid ones, I'm on my sixth box. And the cheaper ones, I got like 7 or 8 boxes. The 50 cent, 25 cent era boxes. I can see myself going through those. Remember, I went through them, I marked them very quickly, but I never looked at any of those under a microscope. I can see the channel morphing into a microscope channel in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 years, where I go through all of my previous finds, right? There'll be no more pennies. You won't be able to get them anymore. Coin roll channels will become rarer because there'll be less pennies. And what are you going to do? You're going to buy them on eBay. They'll probably be $10 a roll on eBay, if not $15 a roll, and they'll be searched, and it'll be a bunch of junk. It won't be fun. I mean, I'll have unsearched penny rolls and a lot of other, but it's going to dwindle down. There's going to be less and less people with truly unsearched customer wrap penny rolls from the bank, from their local bank. And these channels will probably become a little bit more popular, I'm assuming. And I can start going through all of my old boxes. Do a little extra. Anyway, I won't have hundreds, but I'll probably have 10, 15, 20. And each one of those boxes holds 100 flips, 100, 105, 95, something like that, but about 100. So for every 10, you got 1,000. Oh, forget about it, man. It would not surprise me if I have 100 in total within the next 5-10 years. 100 of those boxes, which would be 10,000 coins to go through. And when you put it under the microscope, you can probably analyze a penny for 2, 3, 4 minutes. And if you have to do research to, through books and stuff like that, I could probably, anyway, I just thought I would mention that at the end of the video for those of you who enjoy me talking and hearing the BS that I talk about on the channel. Because I'm really concluding this series, and that was the last thought that I had in my head was when I'm done with my pennies, what I'll do is I'm gonna go through those pennies. I'm not gonna research through my penny rolls, so I'm probably gonna sell them. All my search through stuff, I'm probably gonna sell. And but I'll have tons and tons of these other pennies in these in the flips and in the boxes, and that's probably what I'll do. I don't see myself. I really don't have the time, and business is slow. So when business picks up, I'm definitely not going to have the time to go through, look, $5, $10 pennies to try to make, to list them and all that stuff. But at some point, as I get close to retirement in 5-10 years, I probably will have the time for that. I probably have a little studio. Who knows? Anyway, just little free thinking there, sharing with you. The next episode is 523, and I'm probably not going to talk about too much like I did in the past 4 videos about the ending of the U.S. penny. It's going to be a very sad day. I will probably talk about it as the time gets closer to it. And if you're still here, thank you for watching the whole video. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me and the channel. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.